Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Shishpal. Good evening. All right. So those of you who are raising hands, welcome. Welcome, Sharif. Dr. Durga, welcome. Vinay Mishra, welcome. Good evening. Welcome, Jagruti. Always nice to see you, Jagruti. You're always there with your team.
Any issues?
So welcome, Jagruti, and I hope there's a lot of people from Power Weave. Welcome to all of them. Avi Mathur, hi. It's nice to see you here, all the way from foreign land. Where are you now? Australia. Oh, wonderful. Good evening, Praveen. Oh, it's late there. Yes, I'm sure it's late for you. Let's hope we make it worth it for you, Avi, so you won't regret sitting up late. So another 2 minutes, and I think we will start. Because there's a lot of people who are just coming in. All right, one more minute. I think we'll start Hajjus.
Yeah, no problem. Let
Yeah,
people join there. We have
yeah.
38
We have
attendees
about
now.
40 plus participants as of now, but I'm sure a lot of people would be joining in the
Yeah.
next few minutes. 1 hour, Praveen. Praveen wants to know how many hours of session. 1 hour should tire you out. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Zikitsa Healthcare and our associate partners for today's webinar, Infinite Health Studios, I welcome you to this webinar. This webinar is entitled Yoga for Work Success, and we all know how the benefits of yoga, both for mental health as well as physical health, just cannot be undermined. But before we go on to the session proper, let me talk to you a little bit about Zikitsa Healthcare. For those of you who have not heard about Zikitsa Healthcare, because Zikitsa Healthcare has now forayed into corporate wellness and is making a name for itself, you must know that this company is about 15 years old, and we are the largest provider of ambulances in the country. So Zikitsa Healthcare has been present in the government sector, working for the government in a large number of states. So with a fleet of 3,500 ambulances, Zikitsa Healthcare is pan across the country, providing emergency care, taking critical care patients to the hospital, and saving lives. Now we work with corporates. So fixed ambulances are provided to corporates. They are stationed there to evacuate a critical employee to a nearby hospital. Sometimes societies also ask for an ambulance, and we station an ambulance there at different societies for residents' use. Similarly, it is for manufacturing units. We also have a product called Ambulance on Call, which again is meant for corporates and their employees. So with a small subscription, the corporate can actually ensure that an ambulance is available for each of its employees anywhere in the country within half an hour. In these COVID times, when consulting a doctor has become difficult, you don't want to take a risk by going to a clinic nearby or a hospital nearby, because you could be sitting next to an infected patient of COVID. So for minor ailments, all you need to do is to pick up the phone and speak to our doctors in the command center in Mumbai. So this is called as Telehealth. And once again, this is a program that we extend to corporates. So let me very quickly show you a small film, a video film, which is only about 2 minutes. It will showcase what we do at Zikitsa. All right, so welcome back. Uh, our partners for today is a company called Infinite Health Studios. This is another wonderful company which does a lot of work in wellness. And Infinite Health Studios actually was founded in 2013 by a gentleman called Mr. Rohit Dhingra. He left a cushy corporate job to start this company, and with a vision that to cure what cannot be endured and to endure what cannot be cured. So he spread a culture of wellness through yoga, meditation, and nutrition. And now I would like to introduce you to the trainer for today. The trainer for today is on your screen. This lady is called Harjas Kaur. Harjas is a teacher at the British School, a yoga teacher. She's also a freelance yoga teacher and has worked with a lot of companies. She has an expertise into Hatha, Ashtanga, Vinyasa, power yoga, meditation, Pranayama, and etc. etc. She's an enigmatic personality with interests ranging from sports to adventure sports to dancing, aerobics, traveling, what have you. I'm sure you will enjoy this program today. Over to Harjas. Put your question and answers in the chat box. The session will last for about 55 minutes, after which we will take up question and answers. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you everyone for joining today's session. And the topic for today is yoga for workplace. Basically, how yoga can enhance the performance or performance at workplace, and how it can enhance the health of the people who are engaged at the workplace. So, as we all know, that yoga is a very holistic practice, which, when we practice, helps us in a lot of helps us to connect to ourselves, and especially when we are doing yoga as a regular practice. So, the benefits which we can achieve through it is this. At the workplace benefits, let me talk about. It can help in enhancing the productivity because it improves the energy levels of a person. So it can enhance the productivity. It can reduce the stress. It can help you meet your deadlines and cope up with the stress, cope up with the fast paced, or cope up with these tight schedules with much more ease, because when we practice yoga we get a certain balance, and it helps to improve our focus, and it brings balance, and we get the mechanism to cope up with stress because of this rhythmic deep breathing that we do while practicing the yoga postures, also through various pranayama techniques and meditation, mindfulness. All these helps us to just bring that awareness, which we can which helps us to enhance all these aspects. And When we are more relaxed, we are more happy, and we are able to connect with our fellow uh, people at workplace. And it helps to release the competitive spirit, in the sense that it helps to bring more cooperation. So people are more cooperative, they're more trustworthy towards each other. So, these the benefits can keep going on and on. So all this, and there are of course lesser now with COVID, it's a different situation. We are all working from home, but otherwise it can help to really less absenteeism. It can be like people are more available at the workplace because they're just healthy and they're just feeling better. So all this, it helps in posture correction. It helps to release aches and pains which can come with long sitting hours in front of the desk. You get eye strain, you get muscle cramps, you get hunched shoulders. So all these things can get corrected through yoga. So I think it's a beautiful thing to take up by every person, and when we incorporate it in our life, we get that work-life balance, and we can really enhance our productivity at the workplace as well. So with that, I'm just like what we are going to do today is that we are going to focus on certain postures which are going to help. release, strengthen our back and release. We generally have lower back issues when we are sitting for long hours, and we also have issues with a little, like we also have tight shoulders when we are sitting for long hours, and this problem of hunched back. So we'll be addressing all that. And then there is also a lot of tightness coming to our hips when we are sitting for long hours. So a little bit of hip mobility is also what we are going to look at. So whatever postures we are going to do today, we are going to emphasize on all these aspects of how we can release the tightness from the hamstrings, hips, shoulders, and back to keep our body mobile and in a healthy range of motion, and also improve our posture. Besides that, there'll be a focus on breathing, how to breathe correctly, and how to breathe and connect the movements. When we get that understanding of, or we are just connected to our breath while we are doing the movements in the yoga postures or holding the postures, then this awareness actually, when you keep practicing it over time, this awareness actually goes off the mat also. It starts to go off the mat in the sense you start to become so aware of your breath that you're able to connect to your breath all the time. So while doing a posture also, besides pranayam and meditation, while doing the asana practice also, it is a very important tool which we all must use to connect to our breathing and try to just neutralize our breath. Neutralizing the breath means just don't make it fast and rapid. Don't try to rush. Don't try to move too fast. Yoga is about understanding your body, understanding your mind through the breath. So keep your breathing even and flow in the postures like the dancers do. It's yoga is like a dance. So we try to just focus on that aspect as well. And then while we are holding the postures, the body starts to get tired for some, if you are new or we are beginners. So as a beginner, we hold it for some time, let's say 5 seconds, sorry, 5 breaths, which can be about 30 seconds. So even if the body is able to actually hold, sometimes what happens, the mind starts to get bored or it starts to get distracted. So now this is again a practice. When we are holding the postures, you are just keeping your mind and body still to the present moment, and it really brings the control back to us. So that is how uh, this holding of the postures can really help control the way we react to things. So we get more, we become more responsible to our reactions, basically. So another way how it can help us all deal with things better. So all these things helps us to deal with everybody in society in a better way, and it to helps us to just be better at work as well. With that, we'll start. So we'll starting with a little breathing, breath awareness, and some deep breathing, and then we'll start going into some postures. And towards the end, we will finish off with a little relaxation of 5 7 minutes. So we can start. Mostly, we will be doing mat yoga, but I might show you a few postures which you can do sitting down on the chair also. So while you're doing work at whether you're doing it from home or anywhere, but you have to be sitting down to use your computers and laptops. So there's some postures which can you very quickly just do sitting down on the chair, which can ease out all that pain from your spinal column and shoulders and hip. So we'll do some postures on the chair, which I'll show you maybe in between. And but right now we can start with mat yoga. So you can just roll down your mats, and then we can come down into this pose called the child pose. So child pose is done sitting between the heels. You can keep your toes together and make your heels go apart, then sit between your heels and just take your arms forward. And without lifting the hip too away from your heels, you have to just slide as far as you can in front. And then start to release your forehead and chest towards the mat. Let your shoulders slightly roll out and then drop down, and let the chest also sink down. Let your belly go in when you're exhaling. And on inhalation, you can feel your spinal column in the spine. So it's a relaxing pose, which is also a very grounding, rooting down pose, which helps you to just relax your body and bring your awareness towards the body. It starts to activate the parasympathetic system and relax your nervous system. So you can stay here, just observe a gentle stretch. It starts to ease out your back. So any strain, aches in the back will also start releasing. So while you're holding, just try to observe, connect to your breath, and then try to feel how your breath is moving your body. So our breath initiates a little movement in the body. Inhalation always helps the energy to rise, and slight lengthening of the muscles happen on inhalation. And then exhalation helps us to relax and release down. It will release your muscles and begin to bring a feeling of relaxation. So, needless to say, this pose helps to relax and calm the mind. When the nervous system is relaxed, the blood is flowing towards the head, it will start to relax the mind as well. And with that, we will just change position. So you can lift your head from the mat and then come up in a tabletop position. Place your uh, knees are just placed above, below the hips, and hands are just placed below the shoulders. Hands are spread out and we are just looking ahead. So this tabletop position is something which can very gently strengthen the core and help you get the correct posture for your spine. So keep pressing your hands firmly into the mat and keep your hip just above your knees. Draw your navel slightly in, keep it towards the back of your spine, and keep your shoulders away from the ears. So this should not be happening. So keep pressing the hands firmly down. It will gently strengthen your wrist joint also. It is also used as a warm up for the wrist joint. And from here, we will just do a few cat and cow stretches. So cat and cow stretches are done like this. I'm just moving now. Inhale, arch your back and lift your chin and chest forward and up. And then exhale, start bringing your chin into the chest and draw your navel in. Push your spine away from the floor. So it's rounding off. So you can see the movement, it's a spinal movement. Inhale, go forward. This movement is contracting the spine and the back muscles, and then exhalation is helping them stretch out. So you can just do 5, 6 of these. This is a very good warm up for your spine. All the postures basically in yoga, we are focusing a lot on the spinal health because we are as young as our spine, and the whole body is actually dependent on the spinal column. Exhale, release. We can't even sit upright if our spine is broken. So we have to really take care of it. Inhale, this arch contraction movement will strengthen the spine. And then we are going into this pose, which is called Marjorie Asana or the cat pose. It is helping it squeeze out, stretch out. Inhale, arch your back, going into Bitalasana or the cow position, and exhale, lift up into the Marjorie Asana or the cat position. Inhale, arch your back again, and exhale, lift the spine. And with that, you can place your forehead down again. Release your arms by your side. So this is just a variation of the child pose, Balasana, where you're just relaxed your arms as well. And then you can slowly sit up. Will slightly arch back. So you can roll your shoulders back and then place them behind your hip. Slightly lean back on the tips of your fingers. You can either place your entire palm. That will be a little difficult in the beginning. The body is tight. You can cup the floor with your fingertips. Inhale, expand your heart and roll your shoulders back. Slightly look up. So this posture is a heart. It's a posture correction posture also because you see the shoulders are rolling back, and then it is expanding your heart. And most of us have rounded shoulders like this, and we are most of the things we are doing in life, we are going forward, we are stooping forward for writing down or being on the laptop or being on the phone. So this is a posture correction thing we are doing right now, and it helps to open the heart out. So now you can just relax. We will just do a little breathing exercise before we move on to more postures. I just did this little warm up so that it will be easier to sit because for breathing exercises, again, we have to keep our spinal column long. And that is a very, very important aspect. It doesn't matter whether you sit on the floor or you sit on a chair. You can sit on a chair and do the breathing exercises also. But the main thing is that your spine has to be absolutely straight. So just keep your spine straight, and you can, to make it more straight, you can just once roll your shoulders back and then relax your hands on your thighs. If you're sitting down, or if you're sitting on a chair also, you can keep them on your thighs. Palms facing upwards, and shoulders are relaxed. So start to observe your spinal column. Take a breath. And today I will just tell you first deep breathing. So we are all breathing all the time, but most of us are not doing correct breathing. And correct breathing really helps the enhance the oxygen levels in the body. It improves the lung capacity. It builds onto your immune system. So it's a very, very important aspect to keep for your overall health and fitness. So we will just focus on deep breathing, trying to use the full lung capacity, and it also helps to release more toxins and carbon dioxide from the body. We engage basically three major muscles to deep breathe to do deep breathing. And if you are ever stressed out, you just take 3 to 4 deep breaths, and you will see the difference in your stress levels. They will just quickly come down. So it's very, very powerful, very simple, but very powerful. So the first muscle I'm going to talk about is diaphragm, which is related to your belly. So it is sometimes also referred to as belly breathing. You just have to start expanding your belly. The diaphragm, a muscle which is just above the belly and below the lungs, it starts to drop down. As we breathe in, the belly expands, the muscle starts to drop down. It opens the lungs, so you can fill the lungs in the to the deeper parts of the lungs and take in more oxygen. And then when you continue breathing, the second muscle which I want you to engage is the intercostal muscles, or the ribs. So these are this one side of your body. You can see those lines when you see somebody's six packs or eight packs abs. You see these lines, these are rib cage, and you have to lift the rib cage up and try to expand it out horizontally as well. And the third muscle is your chest. So you have to let the chest also expand, so that you can fill it to your lungs get expanded completely. It's like a balloon, it expands in all the directions. You fill air, and then when you are releasing it, it also expels from the deeper parts of the lung. So now we will just practice it just to feel what is moving and what is not moving. You can also place your hands on your belly and chest. We just have two hands, so we'll place it like this. So on the belly and the chest, but we also have to move the intercostal muscles. Start breathing in slowly, about 4 to 5 seconds of inhalation and 4 to 5 seconds of exhalation. So as I can count it for you. Breathe in, 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel your belly rising, feel your intercostal muscles expanding and the chest lifting. And then start exhaling. First, your belly will go in, start exhaling slowly. 4. Then the intercostal muscles will relax, and then the chest will start relaxing. But you don't have to drop the spine. So that's important. You don't have to overstretch the spine, but you have to just keep it simply straight by pressing your hips down and just sitting tall over your hips. The spine will remain straight. You don't have to really create a length, like lifting up like this. This is incorrect, what I'm doing right now. You just have to be easy. Navel will slightly go in, and everything will feel relaxed. Now we'll continue to take 3 deep breaths without any explanation, so we can feel it. So start breathing in again. Inhale deeply. Feel your belly, ribs, and chest rising. And exhale. Feel them relaxing. Once again, inhale deeply. Exhale completely. One last full yogic breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale completely. Now you can release your hands back on your thighs. Just stay tuned to your breath for a few seconds more. Don't change your breath now. Let your body just breathe naturally as it feels the need. Stay tuned to your breath, keeping the back straight, shoulders relaxed. Try to become observant. You're an observer to your own breath and to your own body. And now you can slowly open your eyes and we move on to a little side stretch. So a lot of time we have a lot of stiffness in the lower back with all the sitting down. So whatever stretches this stretch which I'm showing, you can also do it down on the chair. So I'll just quickly bring a chair here and show you both ways, which you can do. So this stretch you can do sitting down on the chair, office chair also, or you can also do it sitting down on the floor like a mat yoga class. So you're sitting cross-legged. You can just take your right arm up and gently start bending on the left side. Exhale here, open your heart upwards and take one deep breath. So it will start very quickly starts to release the tension from your lower back. The love handles where all the weight comes, and then you can change side. Inhale up, exhale to the other side. And this you can do sitting down on the chair as well. So if you're sitting down on the office chair or any chair, so you just hold on to one side and stretch out. Keep your sit bones, your hips should not start lifting. You should not start falling. And then you can change side. Inhale up, exhale to the other side. So you can do two, three of these. Breathe in, whichever position you are sitting in, and then breathe out. Inhale, stretch out, and exhale, release down. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, release down. And one last one. Inhale up, and then exhale, relax. Let's move on to the next move. So you can come up in the tabletop one more time. So we'll do a little spinal stretch again to create length and core stability. So you can keep pressing your hands firmly down and keeping the chest away. From here, stretch your right leg out. Take the right leg back and just stretch it out. Flex your foot, push the heel back. Keep your leg parallel to the floor. Try to create length with your leg as if you're trying to push your heel towards the back wall if there is a wall behind you. And keep your navel drawn in. So now move your left arm forward and try to find your balance. So the left arm is trying to go forward, right leg is also trying to go back. So this is really creating length in your spinal column. Again, whenever we create space in the spine, length in the spine, it eases out the spine and releases the tension from now because we are stretching the whole spine. So it is releasing the tension from lower, middle, upper back, all the areas of your spinal column. And then you can bring your left hand down and exhale, bring your knee into your chest, take your forehead towards the knee, squeeze your body, and then place the knee down. Now do the other side. So we also did a little balance here. So balancing poses always brings more concentration, focus. Push your left heel away, draw your navel in, stretch your right arm forward, create length again. Take a breath. Keep looking ahead, don't drop your neck. So we try to keep the body in its correct alignment. And now drop your right hand down. Exhale, bring your left knee in. Again, bring your knee close to your forehead. Squeeze your body into a tiny frame. And then you can place your knee down. So from here, we will just drop down on the mat. You can take your hands slightly away. This is Ashtang Namaskar. This is done repetitively in Surya Namaskar. So your knees are also down. Your knees are already down. You can start to bend your elbows and try to place the chest, not your navel, not your belly. So this adds a little strength and helps to strengthen your chest and arms and also core muscles. So if it is not happening for you, then it's fine. You can just drop your whole body into the mat and stretch your legs back. We'll do a Bhujangasana. Hands are next to the chest, stretch your legs back, elbows are close to the body. Start stretching your legs before you start lifting your upper body. So then you inhale, start lifting your head and chest. Don't use your arms in the in the beginning. Keep your arms on your hands on your side, but don't press them down. Just lift as much as you can. Inhale slightly, maybe if it is very little also, then also it's fine. Lift your head and chest up and just do a little backward rotation with your shoulders. Roll your right shoulder back, so you're rolling it back, and then roll your left shoulder back likewise and stay up. No, don't strain your neck too much. Keep your neck neutral. Don't try to look up. Look forward and stay here. Keep opening the chest and the shoulders. So you can do a little hop up. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, try to open the chest more. Exhale, relax. Inhale, open the chest. You can lift your hands off the mat also and see that you're not using your hands. Inhale and relax. Exhale. Now we'll use the hands to lift up. Inhale up and exhale once again. Push back and sit up. Let's just stretch the shoulders a little bit. So this is again a posture which will help to open up the shoulders and stretch the triceps. You can just take your right arm up towards the ceiling, push your right arm back, drop the arm from the elbow and hold your elbow. Just hold it first. Make your spine long, lift your chest slightly up. You can push your shoulder back and down. So the right hand is almost coming to your middle back. You can just place it there and keep pushing the elbow back and down, stretching the tricep here. Hold for a few breaths. So this will open up the shoulder, and tightness in the triceps also leads to shoulder pain. So it's stretching the triceps. And from here, I'm just showing you from behind now. Try and take your other arm out and wrap it on your back also. Try to join your fingers. Just wriggle your hands towards the center of your back and see if you can join your palms. If you cannot join the palms, usually you can hold a belt in your hand or a scarf in your hand like this in each hand and then hold through the scarf or the belt like this. Right now, you can just be wherever you're reaching. If your hands are touching, then fine. If they're not touching, you can stay there. But make sure you're not dropping your chin down. You're not doing this. Keep the elbow pushing back and keep your chin parallel to the floor. Stay here for a few breaths. It starts to work opening your middle back and upper back, shoulders, all this. Stay here for 3, follow your breath, 2, 1, and then relax. Release your right arm and start to lift your left arm. Inhale, take your left arm up, again push it back and down and hold your elbow, push the elbow back and down and stay again, breathe. You can feel the stretch in your left tricep, opening in the shoulder as you're trying to push it back. The palm can rest on your middle back or wherever it is reaching. Now take your other arm out and again try to join the palms. If you wriggle the hand, this right hand upwards, take the left hand downwards, try connecting, bringing them closer and hold. Continue breathing. Keep your chin parallel to the floor. Breathe. 3, 2, 1. Now relax. Release your arms and just take a breath to relax. So you will feel this part of the body which we usually get hunched shoulders all the time. We're on the mobiles these days. So these kind of stretches and postures really help to open this out. Now let's go into next pose. We'll do down dog. So from tabletop, we'll move into down dog. Down dog is an excellent pose for the entire body. It strengthens your arms, shoulders, core. It stretches your back. It stretches your hips. It stretches your hamstrings, calves, everything. So how to go into it is important to see first. So you can watch and then do it. So from tabletop, we'll just tuck the toes into the mat, push the hip back, and then start pressing the hands and start to lift the knees and the hip up. Keep lifting the hip up first before you make your knees up straight. So keep your knees slightly bent only and keep lifting your hip up. That will start stretching your spine. If you immediately make your leg straight, the spine will not stretch for a lot of people. Maybe it will round off like that because there's tightness everywhere. So you try lifting your knees, push your hip back, keep pushing it back and up, back and up, back and up. And then really apply pressure with your hands. Push your hip maximum up. Now make your leg straight and start to press your chest. Chest should not remain here. If the chest remains here, your back will not stretch. It will remain forward. So you have to start bringing your chest along with your hip back. And then press your heels down. And then you start looking in towards your thighs or navel, wherever you can gaze. But you have to gaze inwards. So this is the final position, down dog. As you can see, just hold that position for 5 breaths. As you can see, this position is really creating stretch to your spine. Then it starts to stretch the back of your hips and the hamstrings and calves. Tight hamstrings leads to a lot of back pain. So the body is connected. If you have tight hamstrings, lower back ache will be there. Tightness in the lower back will also be there. So when we are working on uh, flexibility, back flexibility, then we have to work on the legs also, as the body is one unit. So you stay there. Now let's observe with our breathing. Hold 5. It also is called a mini headstand because it almost looks like a headstand if you see. It's just that your legs are not up, but the head is below the heart. So the oxygen levels towards the head will increase, just like headstand. It will clear off any blockages in your sense organs, like the eyes, nose. It strengthens them. It makes them more active, alert, and strong, so you can breathe, and it relaxes your mind. Now you can look forward. We'll just walk forward and we can come like between feet between the hands. From here, look ahead and start to lift up. Take your arms up slightly, push your hip forward and try to drop your shoulders back. Then relax. We'll do this. Uh, okay. So we'll start with Trikonasana. Trikonasana is a pose which I will show on the chair as well. First, I'll show you standing. So keep your feet 3 feet apart. I think sitting down, I've already showed you. We did the sitting side stretch on the chair. So that is sitting Trikonasana. In the standing, we can do it like this, feet parallel. I'm showing you this pose. Again, this pose works in your entire body. It strengthens your legs. It releases tension from your side, like it stretches your waistline. So it improves your digestion and it removes abdominal fat and it strengthens the spinal column. So we'll just raise the right arm up, inhale, and just start bending on the opposite side with exhalation. As we're reaching out with your, keep reaching out with your fingertips and then keep opening the heart upwards. Don't put too much weight on the left leg. Keep the weight balanced on both the feet. Draw your navel in so there's no strain in your back and keep opening the heart upwards. You can hold any pose for about 5 breaths minimum because that's what 30 seconds and you can always hold longer also. So sometimes I'm talking, so just I count 3, but because I've already spent some time in talking and giving information about the pose, but generally, so 30 seconds is minimum time we can hold, and then you can come back up with an in breath and release with an out breath. Inhale, lift your left arm up. Exhale, start going on the opposite side. Again, reaching out. Keep pressing the feet for both feet firmly and try to balance the weight when the whole body is gone on this side. So there will be less weight on that side, but that doesn't mean all your weight should come this side. Keep pressing the opposite feet so the weight remains balanced. Yoga is all about balance as well. And when we try balancing the physical body, it starts to bring balance in other aspects of life as well. Inhale, come back. Exhale, relax. With that, let's actually do a balancing pose. So this is how we are going to do Vrikshasana. Vrikshasana is a pose which strengthens your hips and it opens your pelvic floor. It opens your inner thighs. So, and because it's a balancing pose, so it brings focus, concentration levels improves. You have to fold your right leg and place the right foot inside your left leg, wherever you're comfortable. You can place it lower, you can place it a little higher. To place it a little higher, you have to engage your muscles more strongly. So engage your hips and open your pelvic floor more if you're placing it high. And then keep looking forward and take your arms upwards. Keep your navel drawn in. Think of keeping your lifting your thigh upwards. So if the energy is sinking down, you'll fall. You have to pull your energy up away from gravity and then hold. Keep looking forward. Stay for a couple of breaths. Breathe. And always trying to coordinate the movement with the breath. So when we want to come down, first on in breath, you can stay tall. You can feel and you can make yourself more tall. And with an out breath, you can start to relax the muscles and release. Let's do the other side. So fold your other leg. You can, as I said, you can place it below also if placing it higher is too difficult for you. And try to open out your pelvic floor, squeeze your glutes, and then pull up your energy. Inhale up. And again, find your balance. Keep looking at one point. Stay, breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your arms down and start relaxing. So we will do one last standing pose, and that is Garuda Asana or the eagle pose. This pose is working on your entire body. It stretches your thighs, it stretches your hips, it stretches your calves, it stretches even your joints in both the lower and the upper body if we do both arms and legs together. It's a little balancing pose, a little tough. I'll show this pose standing on the mat as well as sitting down on the chair. So you can do it when you're sitting down on the on your office. You can do your arms and legs separately also if coordinating both together is difficult. So first I'll show you the legs. Um, it helps to strengthen the joints in your body. So you can still just start to lift your right leg up. Try to place your right thigh on your left thigh, and then you have to start squatting also. So slightly sit and then place. And then you can squeeze your right thigh on your left thigh. Then try to wrap your lower leg over your calf, the right foot over your calf. So that might not happen for some people if you're a beginner, but if you keep working, if you cannot wrap it, just this much also will start giving you some benefits of the pose. Try to keep your foot going in, and then you do the same thing and squat further, and then you do the same thing with your arms. Bring your left arm, take your right arms from under, squeeze your upper arms, and then separate your palms, like move your forearms away and join your palms together. You get this position with your arms, and then try to lift your arms slightly up. So you'll start getting a stretch in your shoulders. So this is a shoulder stretch. This is a stretch for all the joints in the upper body, wrist, elbows, shoulders, and in the lower body, knees, ankles, and hip. You can hold it for 5 breaths. If you can't do both legs and arms together, you can also just do one by one. Legs first, arms later. You can coordinate it with other poses also, but that, of course, if you are doing a regular yoga practice, you can find those modifications. Now I will show you on the left side, I will show you on the chair. So the same pose can be done sitting down on an office chair. You're sitting down like that, and then you can, I'm doing the other side. So I lift my left thigh and place it on the right thigh. Again, I'm squeezing the thighs together and then trying to wrap the foot under my right calf. So this is the leg position. I'm getting similar benefits, but it's just supported and it's easier for me. It's less intense. Now doing the same thing with the arms, right arm, and then I take the left arm on top, and then squeeze the arms together, separate the forearms and join the palms. And then try to lift the elbows slightly up. Again, we can hold this pose for 5, 4, 3, two, one, and then relax. Release your arms, release your legs. So once you release from this pose, you will feel a lot of flow of rush of blood coming to your joints. So it improves the synovial fluid, the fluid which keeps the joint more mobile. It gives it more mobility. We need certain fluid in the joints so that they are able to move easily. So now let's move to the next pose. This is the pigeon stretch, which I'm only going to show you on the chair because on the mat it's a little intermediate sort of a pose. For that, you are sitting on the chair and you can just fold your right leg and place your ankle on the left knee, just above the knee, on your left thigh. Once you get here, your left foot should be completely coming down on the mat. I think my feet is not really visible. So the foot should be touching the floor, the foot which is already down, and then from here take your arms over your head, breathe in, keep pushing this knee towards the floor, so you will all start to get a stretch in the hip already when you push this knee down. When we'll go forward, you will get even more stretch. So raise your arms up and start to lean forward, and as you're leaning forward, you can just drop your chest over your thighs, and you can drop your hands towards the floor. If your hands touch the floor, it will be nice because you'll get a little support. If they don't touch the floor, you can just hold your leg wherever you're reaching, and and just stay here. Drop the head, then relax your head towards the toes, and keep pressing your hips back so you're not falling. You're not your hips are the only thing which are making you sit. So you sit back on your hips and then go forward and down. And here you will really feel a lot of stretch in your right hip and right outer muscles, adductor muscles. So you can stay here for 5 breaths again and feel the hip stretch. As I said, the hips also take a lot of weight while we are sitting down all day, and they become very, very tight. So we need to stretch them on an everyday basis. You can stay here for a couple of breaths. And then when you want to come up, just inhale, look forward first, and then you can start to sit back and release. Then we can do the other side, placing the other ankle here and pushing the knee down, and again going forward with the stretch. If you're doing it on the mat, there are a lot of different variations of the same stretch, but standing is something like this. You place the ankle here, and then you can go into a forward fold from here. But this stretch you can do sitting down, lying down, prone position, supine position, lot of variations. So right now, I'm just showing you on the chair, and you can go forward again, release towards the mat, and relax. But keep pushing your hip back, then you will feel the stretch further. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. Look ahead, lift your head and chest, and then you can slowly come back and relax. Okay, so now I'll show you one last pose. We'll do one last pose on the chair as well as on the mat after that. For that, I'm showing you sitting final twist. This, again, as I said, most of the postures can be done in all the different positions. So this on the chair is done like this. You're sitting like this. You just take your right arm at the backrest, and then you start first inhale and make your spine tall, and then start exhaling. If you have an armrest on your chair, you can hold that. If you don't have, either hold the side of your chair, or you can also hold the back of your chair. When you're holding the back, it would mean more stretch, more rotation. So listen to your body. Don't move, don't try to do something which is very, very difficult for you at the moment. So either hold here, inhale, lift your spine, and gently look back. If this looks too easy to you, then you can hold the backrest. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, start to turn back. So when you're turning back, you're trying to take your chest back and your navel back, and that will start to rotate the spinal column. Holding for a couple of breaths, and then relax. Likewise, you can do the other side. So if you have an armrest, you can hold that. Inhale, lift your spine. Exhale, turn back. If this is too easy, you start moving your right arm further back. Either hold it further back on the armrest or you can hold the backrest. Exhale, turn back. So it is called Ardha Matsyandarasana. You can hold the pose again for about 5 breaths, which strengthens your entire spine and it helps to open the shoulders. Sitting down, it is done something like this. With straight legs, another name with folded legs is Ardha Matsyandarasana. Inhale, lifting the spine, and then exhale, turning back. So your legs are folded, and you just place your arm opposite your outside your thigh, which is lifted up, and then turn back. So I will let's go down on the back now. So we will finish off with the bridge pose. Uh, so you can come down on your back, feet hip width apart. So bridge pose is again a pose which strengthens your whole body and it releases and strengthens, especially it is for the back, but it works on the other parts as well. So arms by the side, feet hip width apart, shoulders roll back. Inhale and lift your hip up and keep pushing the hip as high as you can. Ground well through your feet and then keep your knees parallel. Try not to separate the knees like that. Keep pressing them towards each other so they will remain parallel. You're lifting the hip higher and higher. The more you keep lifting, you'll feel your hips will start squeezing and your pelvic floor will start stretching. Let it happen. And then ground through your shoulders. Bring your shoulders more inside your back and then press your shoulders and arms to expand your heart. The weight will start coming to your shoulders. The shoulders will start to release the tension. So, it's working on the entire body, glutes, thighs, back. And then you're arching your back and stay. 5 breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in first and start releasing. Let your lower back come in contact with the mat and then you can begin to relax your whole body, all the muscles, and release your legs in front. Release your breath. Follow with the breath. And just hug your knees. Bring your right knee in, Supta Pavan Mukta Asana. Bringing the knee in. This is easing out the back because we did a contraction to the back. Now we're just easing it out, stretching it out. So first you can bring your right knee in, hug it close. Then you bring your left knee in, hug it close. And then you can bring both knees in together. We are just doing it as a counter pose. Wriggle side to side a little bit. Move your knees side to side, roll. And then you can release your body in Shavasana. Shavasana is a simple pose. It is a very important pose, which sometimes is overlooked. So I will quickly show the Shavasana and then you can be there. I will just do a little talking. But you just have to be in Shavasana while I'm instructing. So you can keep your feet about 2 feet distance apart, and then you can drop your toes on the outside, pushing the heels slightly away from the body. And then this will relax your lower body completely, relaxing the ankles, the feet, the knees, the hips. And then you can roll your shoulders back, lift your arms from the floor, face the palms upwards, and then begin to drop your hands down into the mat or on the floor. Keep your arms 1 feet away from your thighs. Begin to soften your fingers, and feel the back of your hands touching the floor. And start exhaling and feel your shoulders will further drop back. This will quickly relax your hands, arms, shoulders. And then observe your lower back. If you feel any tension, slightly wriggle your hip, adjust it, and then ease out your lower back and start to feel your spine from the base, from the tailbone towards the head where it ends. And then you can start exhaling slowly, let your spinal nerves relax. So this relaxes your spine and your back. Begin to feel the front of your body, your belly and chest. Like we did deep breathing, take a deep breath in, let them rise, and then slowly let them relax. On the next in breath, observe the back of your head, which is just resting on the mat nicely in the center. Inhale deeply into your head, into your forehead and jaw muscles, and relax all these muscles in your body. Now, breathing in, observe your face, chin, nose, eyes, and relax your facial muscles. This time, we'll observe the scalp as we breathe in. So, inhale, observe your scalp, and exhale, relax your skull, your brain, your whole head, and your mind. Relaxation in the body and relaxation in the mind. Feel your whole body, the body and the mind together. Inhale deeply and now slowly exhaling. Feel your body completely relaxed. Slowly you can start to move your toes and fingers. Will come out of Shavasana. Generally, after a session you do for yourself, you can hold the Shavasana, be in Shavasana for 5 to 10 minutes. But right now we'll just come out. So you can start to move your knees and roll them slightly side to side. Curl up your body on one side and then slowly take support and come into a sitting position. You can sit upright once you're sitting cross-legged or any position, but make your back straight and just join your palms together in front of your heart. Observe, connect to your heart, observe your heartbeat. Then rub the palms into each other. I will do a like cupping of the eyes. This is just a way to finish off, connect to your body with your hands. Our hands and feet carry a lot of energy. And then this is also very relaxing for the eyes. It's good for the eyesight, placing the hands on the eyes. Then you can slowly blink your eyes and release your hands down. Okay, thank you everyone for attending this session. And now, if you have any questions, we'll quickly take some questions. Just a second. So,
Read out some of these questions to you, Hajjus.
yeah.
Praveen is asking, I feel very lazy during studying and all. What can I do, ma'am?
So when you're feeling lazy, you why are you feeling lazy first of all, and what time of the day? Sometimes after eating food, or sometimes after eating uh, junk food, sugar, sweet food, we feel lazy. So you have to address the problem a little bit, that why you feel lazy. But of course, if you do some physical activity like yoga or any other fitness also, then your lethargy, that lazy feeling will go. But if you really want to, if you're into some breathing exercises and pranayam, Bhastrika breathing is very good to just release this low feeling or lazy feeling. It helps to bring a lot of flow of prana into your body very quickly. We didn't do it today, but it is just deep inhalation and deep exhalation and fast breathing. So when you we do that breathing, and I'll quickly show you, it can be done using your hands. It can be done without using your hands. If you're feeling lazy, use your hands. So you can do several movements. I'll just show you one movement. Keep your elbows close to the body. Keep your spine upright. Breathe in, breathe out. Do 20 repetitions. You can keep increasing. Like you can do 2, 3 rounds. You can do one round to begin with. 20 breaths. You can increase to 40 breaths if you like. It will start like helping you just release that low feeling. This is one of the things you can do. Power breath. It is a very powerful breath. And of course, if you do some rounds of Surya Namaskar, that will also help you do some physical work. Do some leg raises, Surya Namaskar, a little movement you need to shed off that laziness. Try it out and try to address why do you feel it? Is it mental? Are you thinking too much? Or is it physical? I mean, nutrition wise, you need something.
Dr. Sudeep is asking, can you suggest any steps in yoga for maintenance of varicose vein pain?
Yeah, varicose veins is quite. So, varicose veins, there is an exercise called leg raises. That's really nice. In supine position, you can lie down and just do single leg raises. You have to keep lifting and hello, are you there?
Yeah, your screen got frozen for a moment.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that. So that is there are many exercises, right? So I'm just showing you one right now, which is quite effective. So you can lie down on your back. You keep your back straight. If you have a really tight back, then support your back with your arms, and or otherwise you can also keep a little cushion under your back. And then if your back is fine, you can keep your arms to your side also. Inhale, lift your leg up. You have to try and keep your leg as straight as you can so that this part of the leg can stretch. Because with varicose veins, these veins here become very tight from the lower back starting to the back of your thigh, and some people it goes down. So you need to basically stretch this part. So leg raises is quite effective. And then there is legs up the wall. You can just place your legs on the wall. So it's supported, no tension, no exertion, nothing happening, nothing going wrong with your back. You can just place your legs up on the wall. This is very, very good, effective. And do a regular exercise, do regular yoga. You need stretching for varicose vein, stretching of your uh, legs and back, strengthening of your back as well for
Pradeep
varicose vein.
is uh, Pradeep is a diabetes counselor from Hyderabad, and he's asking, ma'am, please suggest best postures for age group of 30 to 60 years, male, female patients, to get rid of stress and be positive and fight back against diabetes.
To release stress, basically.
Yes.
Posture. You want a posture or you want breathing or anything. Okay. So, one of the best postures for diabetes is the twisting pose, which we did today. On the chair, I showed you, on the floor, also, I showed you. Ardha Matsyandarasana. That is one of the best poses for diabetes, but because you're saying 60, so 60 might not be able to fold the legs like this. But there are always variations and modifications. Basically, you have to there's pancreas diabetes, so you need to stimulate the pancreas, right, for the diabetes, I think. That's the gland which produces insulin or controls it in the body. So pancreas somewhere situated in your belly, you have to massage the pancreas through poses like this. When we press the knee towards the chest or towards the belly, it starts to massage the pancreas. And then when we make the spine tall and start to rotate it, it starts to squeeze out all the tension from our body, basically our back. Our back holds, our hip holds a lot of tension. So all this is stretching and twisting in this pose. One of the poses is this. As I said, a 60-year-old might not be able to do this pose. So you can sit, that person can sit with straight legs also, or on the chair also. I showed you this pose. They can sit on the chair and do it. They can do it with straight legs in the sense you can just do this, bend your knees and twist around. You can bring your knees closer, it will massage your pancreas. So you can modify. But to name the pose, you can do Vakrasana or Matsyandarasana. And if they are too difficult, just do cat cow, what we did in the beginning. We did the cat cow pose, Vitalasana and the Marjory Asana. That's also very good. And do
There's
some breathing. Breathing always helps. Deep breathing is good. Alternate nostril breathing is good.
वो भी आधा करो लेकिन उसमें
So there's one last question on exercise for cervical.
Okay, so cervical, we need to stretch the back of the neck. Just simple neck stretches are also very good for cervical. Because if you try to do too many poses, you need to understand the correct technique. So right now, I'll quickly tell you that you have to stretch the back of your neck for the cervical, and any pose there are a lot of poses which will drop your chin down and will start stretching the back of the neck. All those poses will be good for cervical. And do these neck stretches daily if you have cervical. Side to side stretch, down stretch, up when you take, don't drop the head too far back because it can contract it further. So you can just lift the head slightly up, try to drop the shoulder away and then drop the head on the other shoulder, and these kind of stretches. And rotations are also good. When you're doing rotations, don't drop the head too far back. And if you want to really know the poses, there are certain poses which helps. Like for example, you're doing this twist, then also you are working on your cervical. But if you push the neck too hard back, then it can do counter. I mean, it can be bad for your neck also. So think of your neck as an extension of the spine because it is an extension of your spine. So we have to try and keep the spine straight unless and until we are stretching the spine in like we do in Marjariasana, the cat position, or some poses like that. Mostly we have to keep the spine straight. So if you do this, this will also work on your cervical. But don't push your head like this. It should not strain your neck. Your neck should be as part of your spine. Spine moves back, neck also moves back. And this contraction motion will strengthen the cervical spine as well.
Same gentleman
Uh,
gets pain in the back nerves of the head. Are the nerves at the back of the head? And he gets pain there.
is it
He's not talking about back pain. He's
my
talking
head
about
pain, head
pain
pain?
at the back of the head.
So I do not know what could be the reason for it, but try doing some pranayams that will help. Bhramari pranayam should help because Bhramari starts to relax the nerves in your face and your head. So Bhramari pranayam is just making a very sweet humming sound through your nose, but try to feel the vibrations spreading out to all the parts of your body, especially your upper. So it goes like this. And if you keep doing this for longer time, then it starts to relax the nerves. There are some nerves which gets pinched and they can create headaches and migraines. So those needs to be relaxed. So I do not know if you know Brahmari Pranayam, but Brahmari Pranayam is just breathe in through your nose. While breathing out, you can use this mudra also, spreading your hands on your face, and then use your thumb for closing the eardrums while exhalation. So the sound remains and vibrates inside your body more. So try to make your exhalation as long as you can so that you can vibrate for longer and you're relaxed. Focusing on exhalation while breathing relaxes us. This is a tip. When you are enhancing your exhalation, it will bring more and more relaxation to your body and your mind. And you need relaxation maybe because of whatever reasons your nerves are getting pinched. It could be something physical, it could be something related to your diet, or it could be just overthinking, like some problem you're trying to figure out, I don't know reasons, but basically, this is stress related also. It could be physical, I don't know. So you have to address it, what exactly it is coming from. But do these pranayams, do alternate nostril breathing, do Bhramri, do Ujjayi breathing. All these should help.
Thank you,
I
Harjus.
the
It's been a
Go ahead.
wonderful wonderful session. One can only, get inspired. Looking at you with, doing all these exercises is awesome. Actually, especially for somebody who's just beginning. You're obviously an expert, so it's not so
Thank you so
easy.
much.
Yes,
Today we picked up not very difficult poses. I think most of you will be able to do these. You just have to start doing any regular practice, and it's good for keeping your body, mind
yes.
balanced and healthy.
They say you only
So,
live once, but if you do it right, once is enough. So I guess
yes,
Harjas has taught us all how to do things, these exercises in the right manner. We hope to get you back some other day. Thank you so
sure.
much, Harjas.
Thank you.
Thank you, audience, and uh, have a good evening. Thank you so much.
Good evening to everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Atulji. So
Yeah,
I'll see
thank
you
you.
some other day. Thank you.
Yes,
Bye.
sure.